So tell me something now. You see, after the Gaza clan come for your bumbo clot in a Broward County, Dade County, any pussy clot county in a Florida. After the, cause me I make sure say me send everything to the right person. You think that Donald Musk and Elon Trump can help you? Yes, I said it. Donald Musk and Elon Trump. You think they can blood? You worship them two white people there. You think Donald Musk and Elon Trump can help you? Hey, may God have mercy on your bumbleclot soul. I'm going to pump out all of the video them on Vibes Cartel to everybody in Brown, including Scatterburrell. My boy, I'm a boy that. I make them say what you did I say about the world boss publicly, like you know the world boss personally. Me know the world boss personally. Oh boy, your goose is cooked. What me say? Your duck roast. What me say? Your goose cook. And I guess what? A cock mouth kill cock, you know. And nothing else kill cock, you know. Cock mouth kill cock. And me never did I pray for that day, you know, but guess what? The interesting turn of events by the universe and by the real God, the real knowing of all, God. So God flip the script on your bumbo clod. That's why you could stop the lie. Come call the man rare.
You see, you talk about Spurline there and then you stop call up the man name now. I be a jungle so try bring down now. But I love is to die face to face now. Straight up, man. Stop to call up the man name, man. I'm vex, man. Trade every know now.
Also, pussy. Stop call up the man name. The man alive and well. Get your fucking information right. You dirty dark shit. Stop spread propaganda from my father name. Pussy wall.
Batty boy. Crutches. Stop look views. Why you stop look views off a Spurline name? Pussy. Pussy.
View that. View that. That you put on YouTube. Put this recording on YouTube. You nastiness.
Drunkro. Dog shit. Spurline still alive. Go tell YouTube that. And go get some money off of that pussy. You want a man licking on your blood clot face. Pussy wall. Stop call up Spurline name. Stop call up Spurline name. Pussy wall.
Yeah, so you know that's just two voice messages that people had called and left at the Jamaica Young Police channel, you know, threatening my life as if they think that they can't scare me. As I said before and I'll say again, I'm not afraid of anyone. Whether you know you're affiliated with the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization or any other, or the GLP. One thing I can say for sure, that all the years that I've been doing videos, I have never received a death threat from a member of the, who claim to be a member of the Jamaica Labour Party. Like, you know, someone who can identify themselves and you can hear the passion. It's always people from the PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization. And these people feel that they're talking to someone who is scared of them. I can say, and I can say publicly or privately, throughout my entire career as a police officer, it's maybe two people that, you know, ever shoot at me and still around. One of them, he escaped from remand center. I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Douglas. Yes, he was one of the men who escaped from the remand center in 1997. Linward Edwards, Party Police, was one of the police officers that came that Friday night when the tangling between myself and two gunmen of South Anderson Crescent Friday night. The two police officers that were there with me, when, you know, one of them, he passed away, a partner. He was all the way at the bottom of Espute Avenue No, it's Espute. I think it's Espute Avenue. One of those avenues off Fulton Park. Well, that's years ago, almost 30 years ago. And he had received, and what he did, he tricked the police. He did not. I wasn't one of the persons who took up this man to take him to the hospital. What he did is he found dead and they police them from special anti-crime. And when he reached KPH and that, he jumped up and said that he wasn't dead. He had like 9 gunshot wounds all over his body. You understand? I say again, I'm not afraid of anyone. So you heard this man, I don't even know Scatterbarrel and all these people. But then you can look right there. So it's a true story. This is about my life. About ex-police officer. We were cadets together. He's from Cockburn Pen. Throughout my life as a police officer, as a detective, I have never been scared of anyone. And to this day, I'm still not afraid. I'm not afraid of anyone. Everything that I have spoken on the Jamaica Young Police channel is the truth. And nothing but the truth. Real mama papa truth. The first man that you have heard on the video, I made a report to the FBI about his death threats. I know that the last time when I spoke to the FBI, they said that he was out of the country. The number that he had is no longer working. They said that his father was a police called Licky Wicked in Manchester. But these people are hardcore PMP LGBTQ plus criminal organization supporter, activists and voters. So moving on to today's video. I want you to listen to this video to the end. And you will see how corruption works. I am not the kind of I am not bragging or boasting, but it is not so easy. It's not so easy for people to kill me. The reason being is that sometimes even people who are very close to me, who I think are close to me, over time, there's always something that reveals about them that I know that I must be skeptical of. Although I am from the belly of the beast, I don't keep friends, Period. When I say friends, there's no one that can point and say, boy, Porter my best friend. The last person I thought was my best friend was a guy named Esther Nelson. This is a guy who used to be, he was with General Starkey daughter, who was a police officer. And we have been through some things, and I live to hear that same man say that I must die. I should be killed. You understand what I'm saying? Not threat, but he would like to see me dead. A man who I thought I was my friend. So people always reveal themselves. And I have done a video recently, and even people that I thought were my friend reveal themselves. But guess what? They cannot. They know that they can't call me. Because what they gonna call me and say? So you watch, you listen, and you decide. Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers, subscribers and Patreon member. At the channel, we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizen, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because they save lives. This is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives at this channel. We at the channel aid criminals with a passion and do not want them over here. We do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you to go to prison or the departure lounge at Madden. Moving on to today's video. Yeah, so we want supporters of the Jamaica Young Police and to go out and purchase 1 or 2 tickets. Those who live in the diaspora, you cannot make it down because the ticket is not expensive. You cannot make it. You can purchase a ticket so that it can go towards 2 persons to go and experience this event. So but now to the video that you have watched, it's as we said over here on them, when it comes on to the police, we always think as police, we always support the police. But we don't like thief in police. You understand? We love police. We have credibility. You understand? The police are supposed to sell out the murder case or just how we work. We don't like them kind of police. So in 1987, 13 of us were still teenagers at the Jamaica Police Academy. We were cadets, police cadets. We were young, ambitious, and determined to make something of ourselves. We were not yet full-grown men, but we were already stepping into a life that demanded discipline, courage, sacrifice, and moral judgment. We knew that if we stayed the course, once we reached the age of 18 years old, and one day, we would transition into the Jamaica Constabulary Force as police officers. As for me, when my day came in 1988, it was one of the joyous days of my life as a youth. This was a day that I always dreamt of. Taking the oath and become a police officer. Now, this was my journey now to become a detective, because at my first step, I want to be like a Tom Levine. Want to be loved by the poor people and talk about respect and seen as a protector. On Friday, December 16th, not 18, December 16th, it was 9 days before Christmas 1998, I graduated from the Jamaica Police Academy. I was the youngest police officer in my batch, along with 4 other cadets. For me, that was no ordinary moment. Coming from born and raised in a Jonestown and Concrete Jungle, Kingston 12. A community many people dismiss, look down on, are associated only with poverty and violence. I stood as a living proof that greatness, discipline, and purpose could come from the ghetto. I made my family proud, especially my mother, my father, my siblings, aunts, uncles, and family members. I made my community proud. I represented something bigger than myself. While at the academy, I formed close bonds with several cadets. I was especially close to Daxton Reed, Devon Dark Brown, who was from my own era of Jonestown, Kingston 12, and Dave Bagadirt Walters from Spanish Town, St. Catherine. Some people call him Cooley. He was an Indian. But the one I trusted above all others, this man, so it was Daxton Reed. That's the guy where, that is right in front of Brother J. Ebert. Even on one Friday, when we were living at Dam 3, they moved us down from Falkland because, some recruit, at the time we were cadets, recruits. After, straighten out some recruits, and one of them man got broken and they want to charge, but as you know, it go already on them thing there. So, without evidence, you can't charge somebody. You understand? They just suspected that it was us, but them couldn't pinpoint. So whilst we were living on Dam Tree, I can tell you that Daxton Reed, he was afraid of Devon Dark Brown and Bagadirt. So on one Friday, for some reason I heard some shuffling in a room on the dam, and when I went there, it was Dark that was have Reed in a corner punching him up, and I defended Reed and ease off Dark Brown. You understand? Even give him some, give him some nice things. You understand? And him back off. So that's how much I had loved this youth and respected him, even protected him. Although we are all, police cadets. You understand? So, I trusted the man with my life. Yeah, man, I trusted Daxton Reed with my life. He knew my family's homes in Jonestown, Concrete Jungle. He knew all of my family. You understand? Kingston 12. He knew the homes of my relatives in the area. He knew even where my father's home in a Waterford, St. Catherine. In a Gilbert, he might have got to go bail and all of them things there, That's how close we were. That is how deep the trust ran. Time, however, as a way of exposing people, Of the 4 cadets who graduated with me, the others did not last long in the force. The first one resigned, his name was Adrian Stewart, we call him Piggy. Piggy was a thief, he was a rear admiral too. Piggy, you know, thief recruits male with money and all of these things, and I was the one that outed him, and you know, then them search in place and find hundreds of letters where him thief and recruit money and all of these things, thousands of dollars. And then the system came down and me say, boy, me violate the man privacy and them thing. The man a thief, you know. And then there were letters that other men had written letters to him, and you know, saying all kind of things, sexual things, and you understand. So he was the first recruit when I was there that was he was interdicted in a force orders. Yeah, man, and then they brought him back in like 2 weeks. And then the system came down at me and them come with me at everything for keep me out of the force. That's when Screw Morgan told me when everything that he said to me that I'm gonna be a good detective, but I won't get any promotion because the force now have room for people like me, because my character is totally superior to most police officers that I'm going out there, and I have to be careful because they wanted to kick me out, you know, Miss Simpson Clemenson. Yeah, because she was living on the same street as Adrian Stewart mother, was a member of the JDF, I should think. So that was it, you understand. Then you have a guy now named David Foster, we call him Jonjo. Yeah, he's a man, me used to share with him. The man in a beard, but when me and the man leave him in a beard. So Jonjo now, him used to behave superior because he's a man who love read still doing a low Lamore book and all of them things, and guy fluent in English. And him used to, you know, use him insultive words when he talk to you and them things, especially, you know, when you're from my background and dog, and him try for all years, use word like him off a bilica, we like we and him in the same league. He graduated with me because he was a class captain. So, you know, so them put him up there and he went to CIB headquarters. He was the second cadet. He was the first cadet from our batch. That was, he was arrested and charged with bribery. And them kick him out of the police force. David Foster, I work at the Ministry of Education now. I had spoken to him years ago because I haven't seen or heard from him after he was kicked out of the police force. At the time, even with him, I was the one that they pretty much did not expect to last that long in the police force based on my background. Because once you were born in Jonestown and raised in this community, they already put a target on your back that you're not supposed to last, because you come from a criminal community and you have that criminal traits. So that was it. Then third now, then you have a guy now named Leroy where they come from Cumberland. We call him Madrai. I give him that name, Madrai. Him lose the work. He used to be at Central, man on Central duty. Just jump in a vehicle with some other man with an M16 and him uniform. End up in a St. Thomas. Anyway, him lose the work. Then you have Dave Bagadirt now. Him lose the work now because him and Marvin Reed. I did a video even earlier. Marvin Reed, him on a Cockburn, put in a bar and him go for police, go in a uniform and beat up some shot, and him end up lose the work. So I was the only one left. I was the only one that end up doing more than 5 years. Most of them never reached that team. Them that team finished them 2 years. So I was the only one as a cadet that passed the probationary stage. Yeah, so I was the only one from the ghetto, and yet I endure. One was later convicted in Sutton Street Court in downtown Kingston for dishonesty under the last year. That a David Jonjo Foster, him from Trelawney. Call him everything him say brother. The others eventually graduated in 1989, 1990. ACP, Gary Mackenzie, and Devon Dark Brown, Daxton Reed, the others, them graduate after we and them thing. You have a brother now with the name Owen Britton. He migrated to England, we call him Coward. Him come from St. Thomas. I don't know what happened to him. Yeah, did big and yeah, like a cow. So we call him cow. So you know, all of these nicknames, I'm the one that gave them the nicknames. So in 1984, Daxton Reed migrated to the United States of America. I was still serving in the Jamaica Constabulary Force at the time. I even knew his child's baby mother, Molly. That is how connected we were. Yeah. These were not casual acquaintances. These were men I had lived with, trained with, trusted, and in some cases loved like brothers. The last time I saw Devon Dark Brown, he was in uniform. He used to be at Spanish Town. I was not ordinary police still doing it because I know of him liquor a few corals now, coral bunkers and dirty bunker. Even at one time on Sunday, I just talking from memory. I know he was at what name? Some border clash and him liquid two boy out at the stage show and him thing like, get gun and you understand? Because I was part of him division. But you don't know, you know, as usual, remember, you know, you can't get post forget you can't make post get but I'm a thief. So he was there and you know, Dog and Reed were both known action police. So there was also a guy with him called Wayne Magnum McIntosh. Him come from Montego Bay, St. James. A man whose name later became associated with far darker things. By then, life already started pulling men down very different roads. So everybody, after a while, them start going down different roads. Criminality and all kind of thing, thieving. One memory from the summer of 1994 never left me. I was on patrol with Farmer, ACP Derek, Arsmouth Clapping Night, Cowboy Night, Detective Inspector Ruben Gunter, Detective Rock Stevens, Bobby Reds, Kirk Palmer, and all of we on team. So it was Clapping Night, me, Rock, Bobby, Kirk Palmer, and Ruben Gunter. We were on team together, special squad. So we were traveling along Walton Park roads towards Spanish Town Road. When reaching the vicinity of Chinese Cemetery near Galloway Road, when Kingston 13, our vehicle came to a sudden stop. Detective Corporal Knight, at the time he was Corporal, who was driving, blocked the path of the oncoming car. He pointed his gun towards the vehicle and all of us jumped out. When I look inside, I recognized the driver immediately. It was former cadet and ex-constable Christopher Brother J. Ebert. Yes, you know, a man who had once been with me at the Jamaica Police Academy as a cadet and who had worked at Flying Squad CIB headquarters Kingston with Derek Arsmouth Knight. I said, Mr. Knight, I know him. He was a cadet with me and he used to work at Flying Squad CIB headquarters. Those of you who work or know Clappy Knight know that he's a kind of obnoxious, belligerent and loudmouth person. Knight raised his voice in a loud tone of voice, loud, and shut that down immediately. According to my recollection, he told me in no uncertain terms that I did not know the man. I thought I knew. That's Christopher Brother J. Ebert. He described Ebert right in front of me as a robber, a deportee from Canada, and a criminal who, he said, had fled the force after involvement in robbery. Robbers alongside another policeman named Cole from Spanish Town and Black Brother. He was acting corporal, so he didn't have to run with her. Night search Ebert and the other occupants of the car. Nothing illegal was found and they were released. That's the only direct contact I had with Christopher Brother J. Ebert as a police officer after our cadet days. I did not question him. I did not speak further. I moved on with my life. Eventually, I migrated to the United States, and over the years, I reconnect with former cadets through different means and application. Then in 2020, many of us finally found each other again. And then I created a WhatsApp group. I located Daxton Reed. I found Devon Dark Brown, who's a lawyer down there in Westmoreland. SSP Gary Big Boy Mackenzie is now Assistant Commissioner of Police, was there. Elado Pato Prince Smith, that I got him come out the other day. Popeye's news link him come out the other day was there. Orlando Barsag and others also resurfaced. Two of the men who had been with us at the academy had already passed away. So Big Belly Elick passed away and a guy who called Mama Drunker, that's Dad from Portland. So two men from from being with us at the academy as cadet passed away. I was especially happy to reconnect with Dave Bagadirt Walters. I was able to find him because he had been one of the men closest to me at the academy too. Yeah, we formed a WhatsApp group and for a while it felt good. It felt almost healing. Men who had once been boys together were now older, scattered across countries, different continents, carrying different scars, but still able to laugh, reminiscing, and reflect on who we once were. At one point, Devon Dagdown, that's him a lawyer down in Westmoreland, suggested that we hold a reunion in Jamaica with all of us and our families. A cadet family gathering, a celebration of brotherhood, memory and survival. But one name kept bothering me. Christopher Brother J. Ebert was missing from the group. I kept asking about him. Not because I suspected anything sinister, but because he had once been one of us. Macintosh, at the time, since he'd left Jamaica, no contact with him, don't know anything about him. That the guy will come from Montego Bay, them call him Magnum Man. Can't tell you anything about him. As far as I believe, we had a good relationship. Yet every time I ask about his whereabouts, about Christopher Brother J. Ebert, I got silence, denial, or evasiveness. No one seemed willing to tell me where he was or what had become of him. I have heard so many things about him in America. I knew that he was a deportee. I knew then that he should not be in America because of his criminal past from Canada. I thought nothing of it at the time. But years later, I should say years earlier, in May 2005, I heard something disturbing from a man named Raymond called Gowes from York Avenue, Kingston 11. He was close to the late Carl Bitty Hines, who was the cousin of the late Klansman gunman James Hines. During that time, Gowes told me something about Christopher Brother J. Ebert that shocked me. I kept it to myself. I never told anyone in my life, never. In life, when people respect you because you have treated them fairly with dignity and without malice, they sometimes tell you things that would blow your mind. And that is what happened to me. Then came New Year's Eve 2020. Right during New Year's Eve 2020. The WhatsApp group was active. Men were joking, debating, boasting and clashing the way grown-up men sometimes do. They were, some people call it banter, we call it mustering. There were laughter. There was usual rough talk that comes when men with strong personalities start measuring themselves against one another. In the middle of one heated exchange about morals, decency, ethics, reputation, character, and honesty, I told Devon Dagbout that I was superior to him and the others in one important respect. There were lines I would never cross as a man. I said I would never line up to have sex with a woman immediately after another man had ejaculated inside her. I said that such conduct was nasty, unconscionable, sickening, and morally wrong. That statement struck a nerve. According to my accounts, Devon Dagbound became enraged. His pride took a hit. Because this is a man who a lawyer, you know, big time lawyer now. And in the midst of that heated exchange, he said something that changed everything. So I had bruised his ego because, you know, he was putting himself on a pedestal, superior to everyone in our group. Because I'm a lawyer and him have, you know, bright mind, big, you know, feel mind, bigger than everybody, and you understand. But I was the only person in the group that was going toe to toe with him. And then he was like, "Boy, I never know that you were this intelligent," and all of that. I take it, you know, as a compliment, but it didn't make it get to my head. You understand? So when he told, so because of what I had said now about having sex, line up to have sex with a woman that a man finished having sex with, that is morally wrong. You could not get me do it because they've tried, and I'm telling me no, that a rape, you know, battery, that you know, in Jamaica we call it battery, but it's rape. I said no, man, I had parts at the time we were teenagers. That's still, so him get vexed now, enraged because his pride took a hit. And in the midst of the heated exchange, he said something that changed everything. He told me, "Porter, you had better stop asking about Christopher Brother J. Ebert if you knew what I knew. That's how he knew. Because Ebert, Brother J, wanted to kill you since 1994. That statement stunned me, but I wasn't surprised. I asked the obvious question. Why would Christopher Brother J. Ebert wanted to kill me? I've never treated this man anyway. Now that's, you know, I've never treated this man anyway or know of sending any of his family member to the departure lounge or anything like that. Because anything that I have done I always within the ambit of law. Because I hate criminals with with a passion. So he told me that. I asked the obvious question. I said I was not involved in drug dealing with him, not involved in buying guns, not involved in shipping weapons to Jamaica, and I had never done any business with him in any farm. I said I had not seen him for more than 20 years, and that the last thing I knew, I was at Hunsby, and at the time he was in Jamaica as a deportee, and I saw him in Cockburn Pen, run by Fidel Close. He was sitting on an iron. At the time, some men had run from us, and because I knew him, it was a pleasantry, and that's just his heal him up. Bobby was there, and Bobby know that I knew him, so him never get, never search him or anything like that. He never have no gun on him. Cause him just have a marine and him sit down and a bite off him finger as usual. Yeah, so I said I had not seen him for more than 20 years, and the last thing I knew was that he was living in New York. Then Daxton, the very man I trusted most, said something that cut deeply. He reported told the group that they needed to stop calling up Jay's name because they were going to send him to prison by doing so. Just by calling him name, Reed now come out now him a different Jay. So by saying calling out him name, I send him on, send him to prison. So I fired back. So you do not care about my life. You care about protecting a man you know is allegedly involved in drugs and guns. So Daxton Reed now, the man who I trusted with my life, he was defending this man who involved in drugs and gun dealing back in Jamaica. So when I said it, he did not answer me. And that silence tell me more than words could. The conversation went on, but what shook me to the core was this. Not one man in that group, not one, openly condemned the threat against my life. Not SSP Gary Mackenzie at the time, now he's ACP, not the others. No clear rejection, no outrage, no immediate stand for principle, silence. Later, Devin Dog Brown allegedly sent me a direct WhatsApp message. WhatsApp threat against my life. And the members of that group were aware of what had happened. So evil police, you have to kill me. You understand? This is a man now too, where we come from the same community. But goes to show you that although they were police, they were criminal-minded people. Like for Dog Down, all of them, apart from Daxton Reed resigned from the force because then they put him back in a uniform and sent him a patrol. And from him that training school, all the man talk about was America, like America. Even although the man in the police was the man that stressed about America and them thing they want to live there. Him claim they must live in here and apparently they must deport him and him come back and you understand. So I'm saying threat against my life. That silence became even more disturbing when placed against later events surrounding Carl Bitty Hines, who was killed in late 2018 at his home in Kencat, Kingston 10. At the time, it was alleged in some circle that Owen Rifle Clark was responsible. Then on February 23rd, 2019, Rifle himself was killed at a party in Kencat by two men on a motorcycle. Later, based on what I was told by men from York Avenue, including a man known as Penko, a different account emerged. According to that account, Rifle had nothing to do with the killing of Carl Bitty Hines. Instead, the men named to me as being behind it were Christopher Brother J. Ebert, Errol Muscle Johnson, and Lionel Johnson, and Tommy Lee Sparta, allegedly because they wanted the control of the community. I was also told that the killers were men from York Avenue who knew Bitty personally and had been speaking with him before he was shot. So a Bitty one friend them kill him. And him say, this man now, Christopher Brother J. Ebert, him play a role in it. I don't know, because I'm in a part I just intelligence. That is the information I receive. That is the account that was given to me. To this day, I have not spoken to most of these men, except for ex-cap Elado Potter Prince Smith, that are Popeye's Newslink. What shocks the conscience most is this. Gary Mackenzie, who is the Assistant Commissioner of Police, rose to become one of the senior figures in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, a high-ranking active duty police officer. Yet he knew, according to what emerged in that group, of the threat against my life and remained silent. That was really, really disturbing to me, because Gary Big Boy Mackenzie, I left him at training school. Even when I was a police and he was police, I knew, we used to see each other on the ride bike, my traffic police. But apparently, because them connected to the underworld, I am not. So, it just silence. Yet, Daxton Reed, the man I trusted most, also remained silent in the moment that mattered. That is the part that stays with me. Life teaches you painful lessons. And the reason why I'm saying this now, about the threat on my life and all of these things, is that even the killing now of this brother, we had a friend, a brother named Jerome. As I stated before and I say again, December 6, 2025, I had posted a message in a group with people who were very, very close to Jerome Cunningham. But because of money and them a friend with other people, them not said nothing. I doubt if them pass on the message to Jerome. Me never look nothing from Jerome. I just know that them are kill him and it come from Clarendon. And one of the men that were in the group, me not talk about the others, one of the men were in a group, I would say me and him close. But later, I found out later, but that was not the case. The police can't pinpoint or point no finger up to me say, boy, me corrupt and me try to sell the case or this or that. Or no senior officer can't say me in a corrupt police. Or nobody can say me not try to do this illegal thing or corrupt action or anything like that. But that goes to show you that there is no honest criminal, None. You understand what I'm saying? I know people who want to kill people and when them find out and say, boy, them not going to admit it. How you think say a man I want to kill your friend, your best friend, your so-called best friend, and you I go to him and believe him, I know your friend dead. But the person who was giving you the heads up, that's the person who you look at as an informer. I know your friend dead. But if you have done what any decent person or ethical person would have done, if I did would I reach out and say, wait, what happened, Porter? Okay, boy, me see thing where you post in our group and them thing, the war go on. But no, but because you see money, as I say now, and the money corrupt people, you know, people already been corrupt before the money part come in. The incentive now is the money. So when somebody can give you money for you, do something for them, you know, remember, you understand what I'm saying? That's why, as I said before, and I'll say again, it's not so easy for a guy betray me. It's not so easy for a guy betray me. Because I am not the kind of person. Imagine, you know, stick up in. That's why when I go to Jamaica and them thing, you know, I just certain people I contact. Cause I'm on say, oh, me did you say that Jamaica? Oh, you know, link me. Me never have no time. Honestly, me I talk now. Honestly, me not have no time. Me not gonna link you cause me understand what I'm saying. Me not idiot. I know which police will link on them thing there. You understand? So this angle open up my eyes more. Even the same police. Because I show you a life funny, you know. I show you a life funny. Or people, and everybody love me, or people love me. That's how people are gonna send me a picture and say, boy, see picture yeah, our man who want to kill you. And me know say, see picture, and me know say, boy, me know say, other man you attack. Me I show you that picture there. In our next video. Me now go post the picture with the man, Iman Jerome. Him know say me get the picture because me post it in our group already. And him did upset, say, boy, well, you know, you understand, and ask the picture deleted. With Iman Jerome in our group. Him know himself, you know. Me not call him name. But as we said before, and we say again, why people can only pretend and pretend so long. Sometimes the pretendness, you're being pretentious, it have to just expose you. You have to expose yourself. Life teaches you painful lessons. One of them is that friendship is often real only until money, fear, criminality, or self-interest enters the room. Another is that the men you laugh with, train with, eat with, and trust may one day prove to be something very different from what you believe. And perhaps the hardest lesson of all is this: sometimes the danger is not from strangers, but from people you thought close to you. As I said before, and I say again, the video with Jerome, the person who betrayed Jerome, is in that video. I mean, I'll call the person name. I mean, I have to do a next video about that. Because that person, you know, I see him person, you know, who supply the information in photograph. Me have Jerome photograph long time. People ask me for it, and me never. Reason being, because the photograph I have with Jerome was Jerome and a certain policeman that me talk about. Him know himself. When him can't call me and say nothing. Because him done, him not no credibility when he come on to me. Me not no respect for him again. Him come like Christopher Brother J. Ebert. It's just that him never tell nobody say he want to kill me. But him action speak louder than words. Because the same person who from last year who said they might kill Jerome, the man that person they are friend to, you know. Money. I don't know how a man do it. I don't know how a man do it, but that's why I say, boy, criminality is a man, a for them thing. So, moving on. And perhaps the hardest lesson of all of this, sometimes the danger is not from strangers. People are close to you. Sometimes it comes from men who know your mother's house, your father's house, your children's name, and your past. People you share intimate things with. I have several conversations and nobody never hear anything with me and them people. Me and some people discuss, period. Devon Dark Brown, who's a lawyer in Westmoreland, big time lawyer, was once very close to me at the Jamaica Police Academy. But men can start in the same space and ending in a very different moral worlds. In hindsight, it chills me to think that while there was discussion of reunion in Jamaica, there were also, according to what was said, hidden threats against my life from a man who had once trained beside us. If what I was told is true, then Christopher Brother J. Ebert, allegedly carried murderous intentions towards me for more than 2 decades. So right now, it would be, because that's from 32 years, while others around me knew and chose silence. As to me, if I know say somebody want to kill somebody with me, you know, me attack. I mean, I defend that. I mean, I say, oh, if you do that, you understand? And that is why I say this plainly. There is no honest criminal, none. If a man is in criminality, do not expect loyalty, morality, or gratitude to restrain him. If a man will traffic in drugs, guns, betrayal, and violence, then friendship means very little when weighed against greed, ego, and ambition. With friends like these, who needs enemies? My life experience has taught me something I will never forget. Trust is precious, but misplaced trust can be fatal. Be careful who you trust. Not everyone smiling with you is for you. Not everyone calling you brethren want to see you live. Sometimes everybody knows except you. And when that truth finally reaches you, it does not just hurt, it changes you. Thanks for watching. Have yourself a beautiful day. And them say, remind them say, you know, where I tell you this. I was the youngest police officer in my batch. I graduated 1988. A youth from Jonestown on Concrete Jungle, Kingston 12. A play society called Ghetto. But let me tell you something today. Greatness come from anywhere. Now listen, we ate together, we trained together, we trusted each other. One man in particular, a man named Daxton Reed, I trusted with my life. Not friendship, life. He knew my mother's house, my father's house, my family, everything. Him even know some of my family, when me make him know them, even them out of east. You know, said them in a brigade this time. You know. Even one of them where they were on Bury Boy and fed them up. Because I trust him. But here's the part nobody tells you. Not every man grows with you is for you. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.